it was a great feeling. At the end of it, I'm cloud hired. Hi, yeah, my name is Sean Polony, and I live in the UK, and I'm originally from Trinidad. Started in January of 2022, this year. I'm a cloud security architect, and I'm working on a migration project. But besides migration, what they want to do is cloudify some of the applications and make them more agile in the way how they are produced and how they could be used in the cloud. So my role is to look at the architecture that is proposed and add security to it. Also to even propose secure architecture. Well, I've had a career as a security analyst, and I've been at that for a while. But just today, I found one of my old diaries, which in 2016 said that I wanted to go for cloud security architect, and I did the AWS associate in 2018. And last year up to 2021, I worked as a information security analyst, but I also did work with the architect team at another job and looking at the architecture and the security that was going into the architecture. So I sort of had like one foot in the door, and then after now I'm a full security architect now. I think the main difference is that I'm sitting at a different table in terms of making strategic decisions on where the company is going in terms of, well, no, just in terms of where the company is going, and then adding the IT to it, and then also let's say adding the security to that IT. So before, as a security analyst, you're a bit downstream, because I'll be working mostly on projects and subject to all of the decisions that have been made before, and then I will go, okay, this is secure, this is not secure, and even if I give a no, it will then still go back upstream, like into the black box for me, and then come back out with, okay, well, how about this type of thing? Now I'm sitting in that black box where I'm like helping make those strategic decisions and having that conversation at that level. So my days now are filled with a lot of meetings where basically I don't write, I don't produce documents or anything like that. What basically I'm doing is just adding into that conversation where it is, and of course it becomes an action, and then I will at some point have architecture that I will look at and say whether it goes. But by that time, those decisions were already discussed, and I had an input into that. So I really enjoy that. No, I didn't do any. I did the AWS course and just worked as a security architect. But when I saw the course that Go Cloud Careers was offering, I just thought, yes, this is something different. It's a broader scope, and it will give me the confidence to be a security architect as opposed to someone who just passed an exam. It was two things. 2021 was the year that I had to renew the AWS certificate. So I had the choice, am I going to renew it or I'm not going to renew it? And I decided, okay, I'm going to renew it. So even speaking with other colleagues, they sent me courses, and even paid courses that there was one I signed up for, but at the meantime, I was also looking for a job, and I found that my interview skills was not the best. With all my years of experience, and I know what I know, but I found when I got to the interviews, I wasn't converted, as they say. So looking at Go Cloud Careers, and I saw that they were talking about, how do you present yourself and what do you need to tap into and practice to make oneself not only better as a facade, but I'm talking about genuinely more confident about yourself. So that part was the deciding factor, more than thinking of, okay, I'm going here to learn how to pass the exam. And funny enough, I spend more time now. I haven't even taken the exams yet. I just spend a lot of time doing the learning of the presenting yourself, but also the other part about where you have, like, setting up the lab and so on. And I'm about to do all of that. So I look forward to coming out at the end of that course really feeling I am, as opposed to well, you have Mike Gibbs there for one, and somebody who has been able to take what they have and put it into another career. He started in a medical career and then moved into IT, but was able to identify what he had in the medical career and showed himself, for starters, how it is applied in the IT career. And I found that attractive because I was in GRC, Governance, Risk and Compliance, Security Analyst, for close to 15 years exclusively. And I know I was good at that, but I was thinking, what was the step I need to take to be seen as a security or as an architect on the whole. And once I got into the course, and you realize that it helps you identify all of the skills that you have, and I guess it does that well because it gives you a good understanding of what an architect does, and because it describes the role of an architect so much, it's easier to pinpoint, oh, okay, so I have this skill, and it might have a different name here, but when I put it into one of the requirements of being a good architect, I already have that. So that was one. And I think the fact that there's a community type of feeling. So you get on the course and on the calls, and everyone is very respectful to one another, very focused on what we are there for, and everyone is encouraged to collaborate with each other outside of the course. So I find that to be very supportive. Well, I think the Go Cloud Architects comes with a certain architecture philosophy, and it's one where one is prepared for, let's say, best of the field performance. It's based on experience of dealing with high level companies with very high specifications of what they want from their network. And I guess to quote from it, is small companies are not necessarily going to be asking for big architectures, and there is a difference. The cloud services are available for everyone, but if you have a big company and you want to get into the cloud, there's you need good architecture to take advantage of everything, and also to protect your data and to push your company to push your company forward with a commercial advantage that you could get from the technology. So from that point, you know, when you're in the class and you're talking at that level, then you have something to take back to your day job, because and I could put it into my terms, you know, like I'll be in those meetings where we're making certain types of decisions as to let's just say how, for instance, you know, if you want to talk about, okay, so how are we going to do, are we multi-cloud, and why are we multi-cloud, and what are we looking for out of multi-cloud? And already, you know, from 2 months or 3 months into Go Cloud Architect, I'm comfortable to make my contribution to that and show, well, this is how you could get the maximum out of cloud technology by going this particular way or that particular way, and so on, as opposed to, I think without that training, you more or less repeat the marketing of each of the individual clouds. And sometimes in the cloud sphere, people can become, let's say, fans of a particular cloud provider, and then you think, this is it, this is all you need, you don't need anything, cloud is cheaper, their services are all you need, and so on. And when it's much more complicated than that. And I think the discipline to be in the class is, well, that type of discipline I've always had, and it's easy for me to say, okay, I'm getting into this course, I'm going to finish this course, and but I do have, you know, a day job and a family and so on, so it is balancing and spinning a few plates as well. But then again, you know, as I alluded earlier, because you have this community of people who are willing to share their experiences and sometimes their obstacles that they have to overcome, and people are quite open about that. You realize that, look, you are not a pariah. You know, you could do this from that point of view. And you know, often we in the course we talk a lot about personal development, about going past the imposter syndrome and going past fake it till you make it, and being real about it, and what is the work required for you to genuinely feel within yourself that I am an architect, I understand what architecting is about, and I have this value that I could bring to different businesses and so on. So it changes you. You speak differently, you present yourself differently. On the whole, you also see the reaction of others to you, and I see that at work too. As I said, as a security analyst, you get respect as a security analyst if you're good at what you're doing, of course. But I said you're not at that level making those decisions. And when you get into that boardroom as such, it's not a board, but if you get into that room to have that meeting, and it's like your first role there, you could be intimidated by it. But I find from the classes at Go Cloud Careers, you reach there prepared to be on equal footing with your peers. Okay, so I'd like to talk about two things. Why I'm calling them is that I hope to remember the second. And I think the first thing was I did not expect that level of personal development so quickly, you know, because for instance, you have the ability to do these mock interviews within the calls, and I've stood back and when I found out that people who are on the camera, who turn their camera on for the meeting, they get chosen, or they're more likely to get chosen to be to do one of these mock interviews. And there were weeks that I just turned off my camera because no way I'll have ever done that. But then you start just getting the encouragement because of the camaraderie you have there with other people, and it's like, oh, he did it, okay, why not? And now I turn the camera on and I'm more comfortable with that, and then you see where your inexperience, your mistakes, everything, they are accepted, and they are accepted because they are accepted as learning points and not cul-de-sacs and end of your career type of thing. So if you make a mistake, everyone is like, hey, let's go again. So that way it's very rapid in the way that you could develop inside. And now I do get calls from like agents calling and so on, and even though I'm not interviewing, I handle them differently as opposed to before. So that was one thing. And then the second thing, I started out, because of the encouragement to collaborate with others in studying, having study groups, or just writing articles and so on. So there was one other student, and we got together, and we are now at number 4 out of a series of 6 articles on why cloud is an advantage, and we post them weekly on LinkedIn. So I would not have done that before, and the thing about it is, because we also get reviewers from the cohort in Go Cloud Careers, it's like if you made a public commitment to something, and then you have to have the integrity to finish it, and as opposed to privately making a promise, okay, I'm going to do 6 things, and then by the time you reach 1 or 2, you so there's not that, there's that commitment to it, and the encouragement. When we post, a lot of people read it, and when you get into the class, they were like, hey, that's a great article, and we like what you're doing, continue. So I think it's beyond my expectation, and it's, in terms of value, it has been invaluable. Okay, so when I joined this program and Go Cloud Careers, as I said, the first thing I thought of, first reason it was because I needed help with my interview technique, and it gave me much more than that. I started the course, and it was within 2 weeks I was able to say I'm cloud hired, and just because of the interviews that I did with the few lessons that I took and the videos that I watched with Mike, and I learned so much there. It's all about composure, your projection, and being able to tap into your experience and say and align that with what is required for the role. So it was a great feeling. At the end of it, I'm cloud hired, and I just, as I say, I was over the moon. And then you can imagine if you go back into the class, and then you're in the middle of the class, you put your hand up and hey everyone, I'm cloud hired, and it's like a little party that happens there for a couple minutes, and it's a great feeling. So I would like to all the fellow Go Cloud Career colleagues, I would like to encourage them to stay the course and continue just working at it. easy environment to achieve success in. And anyone outside of the course who's thinking about it, I strongly encourage you. It's not a program where you're going to just learn to answer the questions of any type of exam. It's one that takes you through personal development and gives you that confidence to go and join any company as an equal peer.